Jazz.
Jazz.
Pop.
Pop.
R&B.
R&B. Country.
Hip-hop.
Right? Hip-hop.
Bluegrass.
It makes sense. Yes, bluegrass. All these genres, you understand what they mean. But then there's a lot of genres on the other side, when you dig deeper, that on the surface don't really have a lot of meaning, like mathcore, sasscore, Nintendo core. These are all real genres. These are real things. But one genre I specifically want to talk about is screamo. Now, I guarantee a lot of you have already predetermined ideas of what you think this is, but I bet a lot of you as well are probably wrong, because screamo is a lot more interesting and subversive and culturally important than you probably think it is. So I want to talk about it. And if we're going to talk about the history of screamo, we got to talk about the history of its parent genres first, punk and emo. So punk started in the mid to late 70s with bands like Ramones in the UK and Sex Pistols in the UK. And this punk would later evolve into hardcore punk in the 80s with bands like Minor Threat and Black Flag. And emo would start in the mid to late 80s, specifically with two bands, Rites of Spring and Embrace, both in Washington, D.C. And these bands would both go on and evolve the genre. And more bands would come in the 90s, like bands like Sunny Day Real Estate and Captain Jazz. Now, we've gotten the backstory, we can now talk about actual screamo. Screamo started in 1992 with two bands, specifically in San Diego, called Iconoclast and Heroin. These two bands would combine the punk's abrasiveness and speed with emo's emotional beats and more introspective lyrics. And yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about the starting era, because it's not that interesting. I mean, they look like this. They would wear pretty normal clothes. They wouldn't be too outgoing, because a lot of them are very, very shy. They're very emo. They wouldn't talk to a lot of people, and they don't stand out. They wouldn't want to stand out with a bunch of very different type of clothing. Next, we're going on to the Golden Age, from 1998-2002. This starts specifically with Seisha's self-titled album. It's really, really good. I would listen to that. This is a good start if you want to actually listen and start with the genre. Orchid Chaos Is Me in 1999, and then probably the most critically acclaimed album and probably the most popular album of the genre, Dance Tonight, Revolution Tomorrow by Orchid in 2000. And yeah, this is definitely the golden age. A lot more bands that are in this age are Page 99 and Jerome's Dream, Joshua Fit for Battle. All these bands, very good. Here's a song. Can I play a song real quick? Yeah. Well, I don't know if I can. Yeah, nice. Okay. And I want to go to the lyrics. These bands in this era would also evolve the sound a little bit more, in that they would have more slower parts, they would have more introspective lyrics, even more so than the earlier genre, and they really like doing this big switch up where they have a slow part and then they jump into a fast part. If y'all are scared of loud noises, it happens, it cut in a little bit. It's kind of shocking a little bit, but let's see. And the lyrics are also more what a typical screamo song would sound like. So it's probably a lot more chaotic than you would imagine it to be. Now, oh, not that one. Yeah, that one. Right there. Yeah, you're good. Oh, was it gonna keep playing?
No,
Did you pause it? Okay.
Stopped it.
Okay, cool. Now you're probably thinking, why? Some of y'all might be thinking, why, when I heard screamo, thought of this, right? Because this is nowhere near it. Well, in the early 2000s, a lot of bands would come out in the time, like Jimmy Eat World, My Chemical Romance. These are definitely emo. Maybe not screamo. Sometimes they would have screaming in them, and this would also be really elevated with stuff with places like Hot Topic and Spencer's, where they would try to commercialize this alternative style of clothing and just lifestyle in general. So yeah, screamo kind of fell out of. It was actually getting pretty big around the golden age, but it kind of fell off over here. Even though it became more popular of a genre, it would kind of not be really what it was. But bands still would, they would still thrive in this sound and continue and evolve it. Bands like Neil Perry, Toru Okada, and I Would Set Myself on Fire for You. Yes, that's the band name. They're very good. Not a lot to say about this era again. It's just, yeah, I mean, a lot of people would think screamo was a different thing, but not quite. Now we're in the present day of the scrams era. It's called scrams because there was kind of like a movement because screamo was such like a gentrified term, they tried to make a new word for the genre, and they called it scrams. What's the difference between them? Literally nothing. It's people will intermittently use them to mean the same thing. And a lot of this has to do with the internet and specifically TikTok. TikTok would try to find these niche subgenres of punk and emo, and they would find screamo and think, hey, this is really cool. This is gonna be my new thing now. And yeah, but this genre is still held true to its origin roots in the golden age. Bands like February, Versus Self, Nubu Lascara, and my personal favorite, Her Love Beheads Daisies. Very good band. I've seen these two. Very good shows. And yeah, that's kind of. I'm gonna conclude this now. From whatever you think screamo is, it's probably not. I hope this educated you on this genre. It's not just music with screaming. There's a whole culture behind it. There's a whole community behind it, and who knows? Maybe you'll like it. I'm done.
Good job, buddy.